Darnitsa origin on the left bank of city of Kyiv. Today 25th day of April 2025. By the way, interesting warm day, quite sunny, little bit cloudy because now just I decided to go out to park near the Christian Orthodox Church to record this video about insects, about entomology, about collecting and about spring insects and nature. By the way, it's evening time, it's a quiet place, a little bit traffic around, but not so many insects everywhere around. But I will be talking about them and about methods of collecting, because some people asking me about methods of collecting, and I'm very pleased to tell you more about it. How to collect insects, where to collect insects, how to preserve them, how to keep them for the study, because some people are talking about entomology and about insects collecting just for collecting. This video is devoted to collecting and also to Chernobyl disaster. Why? Because I'm just near the Christian Orthodox Church, or just Chernobyle Cathedral, which is devoted to the memory of Chernobyl disaster. Not the cathedral is Saint Mikhail Cathedral, and with some two small chapels. But here I'm sitting near the special monument to the memory of people who just saved us, Ukrainians, in the time of Chernobyl disaster in 1986. Because tomorrow will be a day of memory. It happened, well, more than 30 years ago, in 1986. Chernobyl disaster, explosion of nuclear power station. I do remember it just pretty well, like it was yesterday. But now the time is still very difficult, and very different from the previous one. And sometimes we can listen, we can hear some strange messages from mass media. And not only from mass media, sometimes we hear explosions just near our houses. Yes, right. I have been heard explosions and cannons shelling in the first month of full-scale invasion of Russia to Ukraine. And now, on the 4th year of invasion of Russia to Ukraine, it's still continuing. Sounds of cannons, sounds of rockets, sounds of shelling. A couple of days ago it was a huge attack on Ukraine and on Kyiv as well. Just I'm living here nearby in this region of Darnitsa on the left bank of city of Kyiv. It was not damaged too much, but some regions in Kyiv were damaged too much. With some people were killed, many people were injured, some buildings, some houses, sealed houses were destroyed. And even just here, I personally heard this shelling anti-rocket missiles, some sounds of machine guns, which were just shooting rockets and drones, anti-drone systems. At least I counted 16, 18, 20 times explosions, and some machine guns shooting. Quite strange time, quite strange sounds, and really dangerous explosions in a civil time, like civil time. It's not civil time, it's a full-scale invasion. You cannot hear it immediately now in daytime and evening time, but air alert sometimes happen in daytime, morning time, midnight, and sometimes huge explosions came even to our cities far away from the front line. But nevertheless, today I was planning to talk to you a little bit about insects, about nature, because I'm sitting here in a green park, near pine trees, near some greenery, near this park with some green shrubs, the flowers of dandelions, the flowers of lilacs, and it's a great time of spring, when spring flowers are blossoming. Already it's just the earliest spring flowers just already fall down, just a lot of flowers of lilac, and actually it's maybe all flowers are blossoming in 2 weeks earlier than before. Usually we have blossoming chestnut trees on first days of May and second week of May. But today already I've seen quite full chestnut in blossom. So 2 weeks earlier. Lilac in blossom, already apple trees in blossoming. Pear trees are blossoming. Quite nice. Tulips are blossoming as well. And a lot of just beautiful flowers as well. But what about insects? Insects are flying, jumping, running, walking, flying around everywhere. Evening time we are not so active because we are going to sleep night time. But nevertheless, I collected some of them for you just to represent a lot of pollinators are flying around on lilac, on pear tree, and dandelions. So quite easy to catch them. You can catch them. Of course, you can use different collecting jars, collecting tubes. You can catch some of your insects to instrumental tubes like this one. This one just dead insect inside. Sorry about it. Dead paravescular wasp I collected near my apartment. So you can use even small tubes to catch the insect inside, or you can use big jars, big plastic bottles to catch wasps, to catch wild bees into these plastic bottles. For instance, here I collected two bees. One is sitting here on dandelion. Oh, right. Fine away. Sorry that I collected them, but I need to represent you. The insects are flying around despite any circumstances, despite full-scale invasion, despite all shooting, despite all missiles. Nature is blooming. And you say, what a crazy bees are flying around in evening time after sunset, because it's already time of sunset. Yes, it's strange bees, because this is wild solitary bee. Yeah, this one is sitting here. B1, big solitary bee. This tube with small holes for breathing. And this is not a honeybee. This is wild solitary bee family, Anthophoridae, Anthophora pumila. Very fat, very hairy, and very beautiful solitary bee which is living in some interesting places. Female is making nest in a hollow in a wood, or just in a hollow between stones, or in a hollow between bricks. I did some video about it, how they were hiding in just hollow place between bricks. But this one was collecting honey, not honey, sorry, nectar on lilac flower even in evening time. So this is just advantage of solitary bees. They're just good pollinators. They're flying even evening time, early morning time, and even just little bit dizzying rain. So this is Anthophora. Males of Anthophora are very special, very easy recognize them because they have a very long second pair of legs with long setae. Cetacean is very big. And size of this bee is bigger in comparison of honeybees. It's going to be a little bit cool already, so and dark. So that's why we are not going to be active. And one another I just collected on flower of acacia, pseudo acacia, with yellow flowers, yellow acacia. So you have recognized it. Easiest way of collecting some insects to use tube. Even if bees or wasps are stinging, you can use this very safe way to collect, to use tube to catch them like that. And insect will be inside. Even stinging, even biting insect will be inside. And it's a very safe way to collect. But it's important to make a holes in the plastic tube, to make breathing, to make a little bit air, more air in the tube, to allow bee and wasp to breathe inside. Otherwise, in a warm temperature, a hot day, it will be wet, no air, and insect will die very quickly. What's about second way of collecting? Now it's already I found even rosy hip started to flower. Hello, who is joining us? We don't have too many visitors for today. It's quite obvious. Audience is limited. I'm doing well. Where are you? What country are you coming from? What country are you just sending us this message? See, rosy hip is blooming as well now in Kyiv. Bluebird, are you from Ukraine? Or bluebird of what country are you coming to our stream, bluebird? So quite easy to collect some pollinators on rosy hip as well. I will show you some seed feeders, seed feeding insects on rosy hip later. Second way to collect insects, not this size, but smaller size. This one is a big one. This one is for children to attract attention to my stream. Yes, right. That's clear. Poland is quite close to Lviv. Obviously. Not everyone is enjoying Poland because it's not possible to visit Poland. Because for young boys it's prohibited to visit Poland, and it's not easy. But not for me. Okay. Why some people collecting insects? People are collecting for two different reasons. Just for collecting and just for study. Because collecting, this is just process like collecting postal stamps. To collect as much as possible and make labeling of them and put in jars, put in large boxes and identifying them if possible. Young boys cannot go to Poland because they are not permitted to go to Poland. Some people with over 60 can go to Poland. Yes, that's right. What's about collecting? Second methods of collecting, I already explained it, but I can show you. Some people who is not familiar about it, to use yellow pen traps. No, I'm not quite sure about structure of Poland. I have not been in Poland yet. I have been in 15 countries, but not in Poland. So you see here, I'm using yellow pen traps, or just yellow traps with different size. But 200 milligrams for one, or 50 milligrams, and maybe this one is very shallow one. How to use these plates? These plates can be used to collect insects. When if we go inside these plates, and we'll fall down in the water in yellow pen traps, and you can collect killed material inside these pen traps. It's possible to use water with shampoo, water with salt, and distribute these plates nearby in a distance, maybe 1 meter, just on the ground, on shrubs, under trees, under plants, everywhere, or just on riverbank, everywhere you want. I have not tried other colors because yellow color is the best. White color is just irrelevant. Neutral very one. Blue one is a little bit more attractive for wild bees, but I'm not collecting wild bees. I'm collecting parasitic insects. For parasitic insects, it's tested for 40 years by different researchers. This way is the best. This color is the best. Some bees, some wasps, some parasitic wasps, they just accept yellow color like color of very bright flowers, so we are going very close to it. And if we come inside, we can fill inside the water and drown inside the water, and it's necessary to use aquarium net. I'll show you just now. I have a small one. It's possible to use aquarium net like this to take all insects inside and bring them inside maybe a separate jar. All plates can be cleaned, washed on. All right, thank you, Bluebird. You're a new sponsor in our channel. Great pleasure. Very great pleasure when I can see it just online. It's appreciation of my efforts to show more interesting stories about nature, about insects, about invertebrates, to make more people enthusiastic and more people relaxed even in this crazy time. Thank you for support. So if you're going to use these plates, cheap one is just good enough. Small one is good for carrying as well. You can use preliminary fill the plastic bottle with water with shampoo and one soap, one spoon, and 1 spoon of salt. 1 spoon of salt, 1 small spoon of 1 teaspoon with shampoo and water. Just mix it and fill it for yellow pen traps, and put them on the ground, on shrubs everywhere, just for 1 or 2 days. 1 day is good enough. 1 night. 1 night, which you can include evening, night, and morning time. And somewhere in the morning time and the daytime you are coming and take all the water inside aquarium net with very tiny mesh. Mesh is must be the smallest. Mesh must be the smallest. Don't need to use this fish net for big fish. Just fish net for the smallest one. So no insects with size 0.2 millimeters can come through. Even insects with 0.2 millimeters can be collected in this very simple aquarium net. After collecting all insects from these yellow pen traps, you can receive just you can get even half of this aquarium net full of insects like that. Like that. But insects are very flexible, so that's why you can put them in another plastic jar and bring them back home, and again clean them in water, clean under the water, and put them inside alcohol, ethanol, 70% or 90 or 96% alcohol. And of course, it's very important to add the label. The label of this is essential for scientific study, not only for collecting, but for scientific study. Someone is asking, Maxim asking about weather in Kyiv. Weather is nice. Yesterday was very sunny, today is cloudy. Temperature about 22-23 Celsius degree. Evening time maybe cooler, maybe 19 already. A little bit cool already when I am talking with you. But nevertheless, I have collected 2 entomologies, as I told you before, and it's quite efficient way for collecting. Malay traps, common jars, and the fourth method of collecting. Well, one of a very efficient one, which I already showed for people, to use these special tissue packages, tissue bags with closed with string. Why it's closed with string? Because you need to use the bag. No, white is better because insects are better visible in a white bag. It's closed like a sample. You can carry it home or to laboratory as a sample. And what's inside? Inside you can put some pieces of plants, some branches, some stems, some flower buds, some seeds, some fruits, some pieces of plants which can be available outside in nature. For example, you cannot put inside juicy fruits like apples or oranges. No, because they will be rotten inside. But dry fruits, dry seeds, quite easy to put them inside for rearing insects from fruits and from seeds. What are going to be here, for example? I have here dry pot, dry seeds of lychee. Yes, you see. Are you familiar about these seeds? These seeds are quite common in some cities because this is very common ornamental tree which is called honey locust tree, called lychee. In many cases you will not find anything else inside these pots because they will be clean with no insects. But in some cases, very interesting seed beetles of genus Megabrochidius can be infesting these pots, or maybe another one. These 2 species of Megabrochidius by seed feeders, and also some parasitoids are living and feeding on these seed feeding beetles of subfamily Bruchinae, family Curculanidae, genus Megabrochidius. So if you can collect dry pods inside bags, then you can put them, bring them home, and again place it like that. Attach plastic or glass tube to the bag, and insects will be rearing, will be hatching, emerging from seeds and pods, and will be coming inside this tube. Better to a glass tube, but a glass box, because glass box doesn't accept electricity, because some small insects can be attached because of electricity tension. So you understood. Here there is a sample of dry seeds, dry pods, dry shrubs, dry flower pods of different plants, any family of plants, Umbelliferae, Fabaceae, or Leguminosae. Others which have a lot of seeds can be used. You can put it inside, put the label, which is very essential. As I said, label is very important to indicate the time, place, ecological place, and collector name and date. Close it carefully. And this sample you can bring from forest, from lawn, from riverside to your laboratory, to your home, and you can receive very valuable rarite material and mass rarite material which can be used for scientific study. You can collect some interesting insects from seeds of Fabaceae, some tiny parasitoids and some seed beetles. Write in comments, write to my email. We can discuss it. Maybe it can be new interesting material, maybe new species, maybe new records for your country. Because I'm not quite sure about Megabruchidius, for instance, in Poland. It needs to check it carefully. How many species was found already or not? Because Megabruchidius is invasive species which is spreading everywhere around from one country to another. Now it was recorded in many countries in Europe, including Slovakia, Slovenia, Ukraine, and probably could be found already in Poland as well. But it needs to be checked. But parasitoids are very weakly studied. You can collect some insects in these rearing pods. You can rear them, keep them in small glass tubes with labels, and you can find glass tubes with plastic tubes. You can find some opportunities to send this material to our laboratory in Kyiv, capital of Ukraine, to Institute of Zoology of National Academy of Sciences, to our laboratory of Department of Entomophagous Insects and Ecological Principles of Biological Control, where we are studying these parasitoids, parasitic insects which are developing on another eggs, larvae and pupae and adults of other groups of insects. You can identify this material, and maybe if it will be new record, new funding, it can be used, of course, for publication, for scientific publication in cooperation, in collaboration, in joint publication with collector. And if you can be collector, so you can join us in cooperative publication for sure. And it's always quite interesting to find new insect, new place, new record, and to publish it for sure. So remember about it. Publication, this is the way how to publicize results of your finding, the results of your observations, and the results of your collecting. Not collecting just for fun, but collecting for scientific purpose. And scientific purpose, this is a scientific publication where you can show your results for public, and everyone can check it. Or everyone can try to repeat the same experiment and receive the same results, or maybe try to find similar results in another country. And it will be new results, in new country, new place, new time, new plant, new insect. Always can be new results if you are observative, if you are just careful, if you are devoted biologist and entomologist. That was a story about collecting methods, story about collecting in jars, using Malaise traps, not Malaise traps, yellow pen traps. Malaise traps is too big one, I cannot show you immediately here in the park. And how to use emergence traps, emergence bags. Also it's possible to use zip plastic bags, but with zip plastic bags you must be very careful because of moisture inside. But here there is no moisture. Samples here, you see here, some seeds. Seeds are very dry inside this lychee pots. And inside some beetles are sitting. And some parasitoids as well. So we are waiting for your collecting, for your study. And welcome to cooperate if you send this material to our laboratory. Not many people join us today. Nevertheless, I hope so. We can continue our discussion maybe tomorrow. In daytime, at least. Daytime will be warmer. Because now it's going to be cold. It's already light, which is going just near this Chernobyle Memorial. I can show you a little bit later this Chernobyle Memorial. And we will be finishing our stream. I can show Chernobyle Memorial nearby, vice versa. Yes. This is memorial devoted to firemen who have been fighting on 11/86 against the fire on Chernobyle power station. And tomorrow will be day of memory. Here are some names of firemen who lost their life during fight against the fire on Chernobyle power station. So this is memory forever. Because in 1986, 26th day of April, was happening this tragedy in Chernobyle power station. And we are here just in a park near Saint Mikhail Christian Orthodox Cathedral and near the small sculpture of Virgin Mary. Thank you for coming to our stream. Thank you for listening. Welcome to join our new streams, which will be the sooner the better. And don't forget, stand with Ukraine, support Ukraine, help Ukraine, and Ukraine forever. See you soon in next streams. Bye bye.